love your questions. We just think they're cool. I like getting them because it kind of makes me think and makes me go into the market and figure things out. And today we got a whole bunch of cool questions, and we have a bunch of cool questions being asked by Baylee Ross. Baylee, no one out there knows you in the PA-46 land yet.
New kid on the block.
New kid. Yeah. But we are so excited to have you here. We recently hired you, but it's not that we didn't know you. We've known you for a long time.
I know. I've been telling people that you were already like scouting me on check ride day.
You were being interviewed.
Little did I know he was recruiting me.
Yeah. But really, if you go back in aviation, you're a Lufkinite. You're from here and living in Lufkin. Parents, by the way, you got great parents. They're super. And
pretty dope.
Yeah, we liked you because we liked them. So, and
I'll be sure to tell them you said that.
Yeah, exactly. And the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So anyway, we knew you were good. But then basically you came in, got interested in aviation. How did you, because this early part of it was, you took your check ride. I gave you your check ride on your 17th birthday, which was some time ago. But you kind of got bit by the bug pretty early. What happened? How'd that happen?
Sure. Kind of a long story, and it's a bit of a cliche, but it's a good one. I got into aviation about halfway through middle school. My middle school had introduced an aviation program, basically an elective course at the time. I had never had any experience with aviation. One of my brothers is in the Air Force, and air being in the title there was about as close as I got to aviation. But I was interested in learning more. I'm the youngest of 4, and I have 3 older brothers, so I was naturally adrenaline junkie. I'm very competitive by nature, and so when I thought of this, I thought, "Ooh, this is something I can beat my brothers to the chase on." Honestly,
and you did.
But I did. But really, what truly happened is I learned about it. I learned a whole lot more. Totally got bit by the bug. It's crazy. At the time, I was involved in a ton of sports. Told my parents, honestly, like, I want to drop these and pursue this and be legit about it. And so I did. And at first, I was probably 14, and they thought for sure, like, talk to us again when you're 15, and then we'll reevaluate. Fair enough. 15 rolls around. Hey, mom and dad. By the way, I've sold a golf cart to pay for this. They were like, wait, what? So I was kind of moving behind the scenes to make this happen, and they knew I was legit. And then soloed on my 16th birthday, took my check ride on my 17th, and here we are.
Yeah. And Mark Dunn was a big part of your
Mark Dunn was my
mentoring.
CFI.
He was your CFI, and Mark's a good friend of Casey Aviation, of everybody here, and did a great job teaching you.
Yeah.
But then you didn't graduate. You got your pilot license on your 17th birthday. Then you went to college. Went to Texas A&M.
Whoop! Any Aggies listening?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Went to A&M and got a degree in
sport management and marketing.
There you go.
Not normally what a lot of people think, but
Yeah, no. But,
wanted to study
the
something that's
marketing
fun.
side's applicable because now you're an aircraft saleswoman. Or what do you like being called?
Salesperson is too Gen Z.
Yeah.
I don't know. Saleswoman is fine.
You're in sales.
Sales representative.
Yeah. And we've got you knee deep into it, and you're learning all the good things. And anyway, we're thrilled to have you here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's good stuff. We're glad you're here. You're in sales. You're also rapidly progressing on your instrument rating and going directly into the PA-46 world. I forecast within a year you'll be in all the aircraft. In other words, we're going to get you going. That's the thing. So you'll see.
So listeners, in a year, if I'm not there, please email Joe Casey.
Exactly. So it's good. Good to have you here. All right, we got a bunch of questions, and you've got them.
I do.
All right, let's roll.
All right. Our first question is from Jake. He currently flies a Bonanza A36.
Okay.
His typical mission is about 400 miles. He says that his Bonanza is super sturdy, and very seldom does he get concerned with turbulence and moderate weather. But here's a caveat. He's interested in buying a JetPROP or Meridian, but he's heard a lot of negative talk about how the PA-46's airframe handles turbulence and mid-air structural failure. So the question here is there something that should steer him or anyone who's in the market for a PA-46 away from the aircraft? Or is there something that can be mitigated with airworthiness directives and proper training?
This is one of the things I hit a bunch. I get this question a lot, and I just don't know really where it comes from. I will
Mhm.
tell you, if you look at some of the super strong airplanes out there, the Beechcraft, any of the Beechcrafts, Beechcraft just simply means it's overbuilt, meaning they build a great airplane. Um, if you want to make a little study of strength of an aircraft, go look at a Beechcraft or a King Air or any of those lineups from Beechcraft and look down the wing and look at the number of rivets that you see. There's a gob of them. I mean, Beechcraft knows how to build an airplane strong, super strong. And I love it. I own a Bonanza.
Mhm.
We think it's great. You look at another airplane that has a really strong wing. Take a TBM. TBM has a super strong wing. And when we did a comparative analysis of the accident record, and you look at the TBM versus the PA-46, TBM, there's not been a in-flight breakup
Mm.
of the aircraft. There hasn't been one. There have been in-flight breakups in the Bonanza world. Most of them are related to the tail,
Mm.
not the wing. Okay.
Why the tail specifically?
It's V-tail on a bunch of them,
Right.
and they had to basically, they learned some lessons through blood,
Hmm.
if you wanna think about it, about how to reinforce the tail and make
Yeah.
it stronger because if the tail is the weaker part of that aircraft. The wing is incredibly strong.
Mm.
So, but if you look at a TBM and Bonanza lesser, but a TBM, no in-flight breakups whatsoever. Super strong wing. You look at the PA-46, the number's somewhere around the 10% mark
Mm.
of where of in-flight breakups. In other words, the airplane had trouble in flight of NTSB reports. If you look
Mm.
at the, I don't know, the hundreds, 350 or whatever NTSB reports are about the PA-46, about 10% or something where the in-flight breakup, either where the airplane, it's always where the airplane got too fast. In other
Mm.
words, oversped the airplane. The lift was too great. They've added flaps that whenever the airplane was super fast, it's almost always related to a thunderstorm,
Mm.
something where the wing had trouble. But every single time, it's always something that created that. The JetPROP pilot that got the airplane up to 200 plus knots in a dive after he got spewed out of a thunderstorm
Mm.
or or hit some turbulence and literally the two wing sections on the outside flew off the airplane. And of course, everybody dies on these kind of
Right.
things, and they're terrible events. But does that mean the airplane's unsafe? And the answer is no. The airplane's incredibly safe. The wing is strong as a horse, especially the M600, M700 wing, M700, M600, M700 wing, unbelievably strong. You talk about a wing equitably strong to a TBM. It's that super, super, super wing. You look at all the other PA-46s; they're all a derivative wing from the original one. There's all
Okay.
they have like either a thicker spar in the newer Mirage, or they're a Meridian and they have the little inset, or the Meridian has some thicker skin
Mm.
than's made with the other airplanes. Is it a weak wing? And the answer is no, it's a strong wing. I would have zero trouble buying a PA-46 and learning to fly it. What you got to do is slow down in turbulence.
Right.
You just can't think to yourself that I'm in turbulence. I'm going to hammer it home and go fast. You got to slow down. And any airplane,
Mhm.
any airplane, you got to slow down. Does a TBM have more margin? Yes, unquestionably. Is the PA-46 unsafe? No, it's incredibly safe. Very, very good wing, and one of the best wings ever. I'll say the design of the PA-46 wing is absolutely incredible.
What gives it the edge above others?
So if you look at the wing of a PA-46, the wing design of a PA-46, it's an old wing design. It dates back to the 1930s, maybe even the 20s.
Wow.
It's a wing design that's ancient. It was in the Grumman Wildcat, the Widgeon, the Grumman Avenger, the Hellcat, the Tiger Cat, and interestingly, the Vought F4U Corsair, that cool World War II fighter airplane that had
Mhm.
the the inset on the wing, the goal
Mhm.
or the bent wing. Why did they do that? And the answer is, well, they wanted good high altitude performance and they wanted very, very good low altitude performance, slow speed performance, because they operated all of these off of aircraft carriers. So you talk about a great wing. Now, the problem with it is it's a hard wing to build. None of the parts are the same. Nothing's linear in terms of it. In other words, it tapers down from the wing to the root. The wing's twisted, twisted slightly. Everything about it changes, so it's really hard to make. It just takes somebody that wanted to build a really fancy airplane like a PA-46, and they picked this wing. This wing is on some of the greatest airplanes on the planet. Have this wing.
Right. So moral of the story is not the structural integrity of the airframe, but rather the operation of the aircraft.
The pilot. You want to narrow everything down to safety in an aircraft. That is going to boil down of whoever is sitting in that left front seat.
Mm-hmm.
That's your number one safety advice. And it's not the wing. Does it have the wing have more margin than a TBM, more margin than a Bonanza? No, it's probably, those are two better built wings,
Right.
but they don't have the performance of a PA-46.
Right.
Look at a Bonanza. It's got, rivets that stick out over the top. It's going to be slower.
Yeah.
Look at a PA-46 wing, man. That thing's slick.
Right.
That thing's gorgeous.
Right.
I mean, and strong.
Right.
Plenty strong. If you're looking at a PA-46, dismiss all thoughts that this is a crappy wing.
Right.
That this is a not strong wing. This is a wing that buffoons can enter in with buffoonery and do stupid things.
Not wrong. But to your point about TBMs, perfect segue into our next question.
Okay.
From William. He's considering a Meridian and a TBM 900.
Okay.
But he wants an opinion from the experts. Just a general opinion.
Well, how much money you got?
That tends to be the first question we ask.
Well, they do. You look at those two airplanes, they're really down to two different categories. I mean, they're both turbines, both got a PT6. TBM 9 series, man, you want to talk about a great airplane. Oh my gosh. You talk about anything with a TBM with a 9 on the front of it has a lower drag signature because they cleaned up all the interference drag with the TBM 9 series. Wonderful, wonderful, fast, strong, carry a lot of stuff, go a long way. You're not going to hear me talk bad about a TBM 9 series, except for the fact when you got to go write the check.
Right.
And oh my gosh, you're going to write a check if you want a TBM 9 series because it's going to cost you a bunch of money, not only to buy, but it's going to probably cost you a bunch of money to maintain, and you're going to burn 60 gallons an hour. Remember that super strong wing we just talked about? Thick, strong. Well, you got to shove it through the air, and guess what it takes? Fuel. That's exactly right. So if you look at a Meridian, it's really in a lower class, if you want to think of it that way. Far less range, far less load carrying capability, far less speed, but still really good.
Yeah, I was about to say, that doesn't mean that the Meridian's not an excellent airframe.
Meridian's going to run around 275 knots and carry 4 people 500 nautical miles. What's wrong with that?
Right.
But, well, if you have a 1,000-mile trip and you got a budget of $5 million, well, great, let's go get a TBM all day long. If you want to split your purchasing by a third and your operational cost in half, get a Meridian.
Wow.
Both of them are great airplanes. I would not shy away from either. And both of them are really active in the marketplace right now.
Yes, definitely.
A lot of people buying and selling them and going for them. So yeah.
Wait. Now, there has been a lot of talk and reports this past week about the increased distribution of the new unleaded fuel. So we're moving into our next question here from Dave Campbell.
Dave. Hey, Dave's one of our favorites,
Hey,
by the way. Yeah. Dave bought you talk about unleaded fuels. Dave bought an M350. And he's really an interesting guy and a cool guy for us. We did a podcast with him.
Oh,
so
sweet.
yeah. If you want to go hear more from Dave, go do that. Anyway, I'm jumping in front of your question. I'm sorry.
No. So unleaded fuel. He came across an article about new testings being conducted on high performance Continental and Lycoming engines. I think it's probably safe to assume that this covers the Malibu, Mirage, and Matrix lineup. He's also heard a lot of horror stories early on about paint peelings, gaskets rotting, and more things. Here's the first question from Dave. This is a two-parter. If a PA-46 pilot happens to make a fuel stop during their flight, do you think they'll experience any issues with mixing fuels at the pump?
You cannot put a fuel in your aircraft that your aircraft is not either have on the type certificate or have purchased an STC, supplemental type certificate, in which to utilize. So if
We
you
got to
don't, if
unpack
you
that.
okay, so type certificates come from the FAA,
Sure.
and so a manufacturer will make an aircraft in accordance with a type certificate. You can't just bolt on any engine or put on anything. You
Hmm.
got to build it like the type certificate says to do so. In the type certificate, it tells you exactly what fuels are allowed,
Hmm.
and these new fuels are not on there on all these aircraft. They're not on there. So if you want to utilize these new fuels, you have to get an STC, a supplemental type certificate that you purchase and apply to your aircraft. And if you don't have that, you don't put those new fuels in. So whether you just pull up to the pump and see 100 UL on there, no, you can't put that in unless your airplane has the supplemental type certificate that allows you to do it.
Wow.
And you have to pay to have that STC applied to your aircraft. The good news is there's some STCs out there now that are available. The 100 UL is the most famous. There's others that are trying, but I'm here to tell you straight up, this is one of the most convoluted, difficult to understand, been having the discussion for 20 years trying to figure this out. And I have yet to see any other fuel being sold anywhere that a PA-46 would venture to have put on. And until we do, don't be the first guy to go put it in unless you have the STC. Now, I will tell you, I personally think the 100 UL to be a great, and there's people in the PA-46 world that have done a lot of testing
Hmm.
with it. Jonathan Sisk has done a lot of work in this regard. And I trust Jonathan Sisk in just about every way when it comes to his opinion. And so Jonathan Sisk would be a great guy to weigh in on this to our community. He's out of our community now, but he's still around and still a wealth of knowledge. Um, and this is one of the most politicized aspects of aviation is this 100 UL. But the quick answer is to answer David's question, would I be an early adopter of an alternative fuel? And the answer is absolutely. The day we have people that have bought the STC for 100 UL, paid $5,000 for it simply to support the people that are wanting to promote this because they appreciate what they're doing because they want to get the lead out. And so whether you're on the far left politically, the far right politically, I don't think there's anybody out there that thinks lead's a great idea and we need to
Right.
get that out. I mean, but you want to talk about politically within the FAA is just a minefield. I don't understand it all completely, and not sure anybody does. But I will say we just got through with Oshkosh. So
Mm-hmm.
Oshkosh is kind of where all the ideas come in,
Hmm.
everything happens, and there's a bunch of talk. I think there's been a bunch of talk, and probably nothing's going to happen for a while. There's just more talk
Right.
because Oshkosh just occurred. But I really do hope we get some new fuels. I'll be a very early adopter. The 100 UL I think is a scam that it's not been promulgated throughout the industry and out there because all the signals are green
Right.
on this good stuff. It's working.
So if someone gets the STC for their aircraft to get the unleaded fuel, do they have to drain the tanks before
No,
filling them up or
no. If you got the STC, you'll be able to mix fuels and do
really?
things like that. But
Okay.
again, I have yet to be in an airport where they're selling
Right.
this stuff. But would I be an early adopter as this thing gains traction and goes? Yes, I'm absolutely. I'm all for it. And I think it's going to honestly. I think it's going to save our engines. Save our airframes because like David owns this M350. He's got a Lycoming engine on the front. There could be a day that somebody says, well, we're just not going to allow that to happen anymore.
Right.
California would love to do this. Say
Right.
you just can't even enter the state with a 100 low lead engine. There are people that want that. And but this airframe's so good, but the only engines on there is that TSI 0540.
Mm,
All you can burn in it's 100 low lead right now.
mm,
And so this work needs to happen. There's other things is that. Lower compression engines
mhm.
burn. alternative fuels easier, better. They're just lower compression. The TSIO 540, the 520 and the 550 that are the Continental 520, 550, those are higher compression, turbocharged, lots of challenges. You don't want detonation to occur that can really rip an airplane apart. Bottom line on all this, if I was David, I would be an early adopter, but don't put a fuel in your airplane for which your fuel is not approved to have in that airplane. But yeah, the faster we move, the better I am, the happier I am. I will be an early adopter with every airplane I own for this, and I will be promoting it within the PA-46 community, which again is the hardest community for all this to be adopted into because we got the biggest engines,
Right.
biggest high compression engines.
So, in addition to working through the process of getting an STC for your piston PA-46, is there anything else pilots need to be doing to prepare for this if that's something they want to pursue?
I don't think now. I think
No.
watch the drama, let the sparks
Yeah.
fly, see what happens. But when it comes available, do it.
Yeah.
Get out the check and write the, make it because you're applying that STC to that airframe.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you sell that aircraft, it should go for more value because it has that STC applied.
Mm-hmm.
Give it 10 years from now, 10 years from today, I don't think we're going to have any 100 low lead at any airport anywhere.
Wow.
I don't think I don't think it'll be available. It
Mm.
might be in 5 years.
Mm.
I think by 2030, there's a possibility that every single airport
Mm-hmm.
has something different than 100 low lead powering our airframes. So between now and 2030, something's going to give.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be on the front of that just because
Yeah.
I think it's good.
AKA stay informed. Moral of the story is
Stay informed
stay up to speed on this.
and get your checkbook ready for when it's the right time.
Right.
It's not the right time. But
Right.
it won't be long.
Right. Okay, another one from Dave. Dave's got so many great questions.
Yeah, yeah.
So Lycoming announced this week that they're extending the TBO on most of their engines from 2,200 hours to 2,600 hours. Per the article he read, the IO 540 does fall within this category, but it also said that some turbocharged models may not be included. So the question is, are M350 engines included within this TBO extension?
The quick answer is I don't know specifically, and there's no way I can make a blanket answer to that because you got to contact Lycoming to give them the history of your airplane. If your engine was not if it's a factory reman or a factory overhaul, there's a chance. If it's not, if it's a field overhaul, it's not. So Lycoming is not sticking their neck out real far. They're basically saying, if you did everything exactly right and followed all these rules and it's from us, okay.
Then yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe. But I still don't know if it's going to be good for our airframe. And I just don't know that. But let's go with the assumption that it will be. My contention is this doesn't change very much at all because Lycoming engines don't make it to TBO very well. They do
Right.
pretty. What this is going to mean is that every 1,000 hours, you're going to do a set of jugs. You're going to buy new cylinders for your airplane. What this could mean is if you bought a new set of jugs at 900 hours and you came around at 1,800 hours, and I need a new I need some new cylinders on my airplane and maybe a new turbocharger, and you only got 200 hours left till TBO. Well, what are you going to do? And the answer is you're going to get a new engine.
Right.
Yeah, you're not going to put on $50,000 worth of
For
parts
200 more hours.
for 200 more hours. But might you do that for another 600 hours? And the answer is yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might do that because on a Lycoming engine, you have what we call the top and the bottom. The top being the cylinders and everything, pistons and all that. The bottom being the crankcase is the way you'd say it. We rarely have problems with the crankcase, meaning it's that's the part that tends to go. So I think what's going to mean where right now you're buying a new set of cylinders for your Lycoming engine, I think it might mean soon in the next while that you get to buy 3 sets of cylinders for your engine. And so I think it's going to change the landscape of selling aircraft in that somebody could say, well, I'm only at 1,000 hours. I got a youthful engine. When we used to say, you got 1,000 hours, you have a midlife engine.
Right. I see.
So there may be some terminology changes and there may be some ways that this comes, but ultimately it would have been better if they came up with a way to make the top end last longer.
Right.
But
Right.
it's not going to be the case.
Mm.
And Lycoming also, I mean, I hate to throw Lycoming completely under the bus, but here you go. I'm going to toss them up under there. They're getting so damn expensive. I mean, 160,000 for a factory reman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's insanity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they Lycoming has to control their costs.
Yeah.
And this is what they're doing. They're not going to let their numbers come down. So they're throwing out a little, here you go. Here's some breadcrumbs.
Right.
We'll add 400 to your engine. Maybe if you did all these things, if you spent all the big money, this isn't a game changer.
Right.
This is not a game changer. This is may change some decisions down the road.
Mm-hmm.
But the weak part of a Lycoming engine is the cylinders. Everything's going to happen. It's all centered around those piston rings. And go make some better piston rings. I'll be more excited.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't spend the time extending TV.
Exactly. I'm okay with it, but I'm okay. But
Sure.
this is not a
Total game changer.
yeah. It's not a game changer.
Gotcha.
It's kind of cool. I see
Yep.
what they're doing, but yeah.
All right. This next question is from Paul. From his understanding,
Paul who? Does it have his last name?
doesn't say.
Okay.
Just
All right.
Paul.
Okay.
From his understanding, you are to set your Lycomings at 35-25 for climb and 30-24 for cruise to ensure that you're keeping your CHT and TIT temps cool, which he's aware that you can go to a lower setting if you're okay with losing a few knots.
Yeah.
But the question is, if your temps are still cool at higher settings, would it make sense to run a little higher on the power settings and get better performance, or would that still shorten cylinder and turbo longevity?
There's a lot of discussion here in the community of what do you do? Do
Mhm.
you pull it back, save some fuel, get your temperatures right? But now you're spending more time in the air and therefore putting more hours on the airframe. Or do you just hammer it home and go fast?
Right.
Well, I'll tell you, 99% of this space hammers it home and goes fast
Mhm.
because you can. No one bought this airplane to go slow. So if I had a Lycoming engine, number one, I'm not climbing at 35-25. The book tells you you can. I'm good with it. If that's what you wish to do, knock yourself out. But if it's me, I'm going full power, 42 inches of manifold pressure, 2,500 RPM, leaving my mixture all the way forward. I'm burning more fuel, but I'm climbing up faster and spending less time in the bumps
Mhm.
and getting up to a place where I'm then going into cruise and entering the cruise. And to me, I go 30 inches, 2,400 RPM and pull it back to 21 or 22 gallons an hour. That's going to put your TIT at 1,600 or less. And he said 1,525 or something or less. To me, TIT 1,600 or less, CHT 380 or less. Those are my numbers. That's a Joeism.
Mhm.
But I'm going fast. I mean, every time I get in one, I think to myself, I'm going to slow down because I advocate slowing down. And if you need to make that destination for fuel burn, definitely slow down because you can slow down to, slow down 15 knots and your fuel burn goes down 30%.
Wow.
So, if you need to make that destination because you got 5 people on board and I want to make it 400 miles, and you can do it in a Lycoming engine. You're just not going to hammer it home. You're not going super fast. But it'll do it all day long, and I would definitely do it. So be the pilot that doesn't have a thing you do every time. Be the pilot that, oh, today I'm heavy and I'm going 300 miles. Well, I'm probably going to pull my power back because it doesn't matter. Or, no, I got a 4.5-hour flight from Texas to Florida.
Mhm.
We're going to Miami. Oh, you bet. I mean, we're going 30 inches and we're going up high and,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
So whenever you're making that decision, you're not really in your mind asking the question, is this going to shorten the longevity of my cylinder? Is this going to, nah.
If you want to keep your cylinders happy, keep your CHT low.
Mm.
That's your number one. Keep your CHT low. TITs, I would keep them low simply because your top end is going to be happier. TITs related to top end. CHT is going to be overall wear.
Right.
Just higher temperatures are not as good. 1,600 is the limit. 380 on the CHT.
CHTs.
Mhm.
All right. Now for our last question from Dave Forrester.
All right.
He's wondering.
He's asked a lot of questions. So this is going to be this is going to be a high tech, ready to go question. I bet. So
Let's see.
Let's see.
He's wondering how long should he wait before putting exhaust or prop covers on his JetPROP? Is the orange vinyl of the exhaust cover more heat resistant than he's giving it credit for? What do you think?
I am buying the there are some really, really junky ones out there that are
Mhm.
plastic and they will melt on your exhaust.
Mhm.
And I am not testing that because I have done it so many times where I've jumped out of an airplane and I got to go, but it's windy
Mhm.
and, I'm going to the hotel, the car's there, all the passengers are
Oh
loaded, and
gosh.
my job is to go out there and put on the prop covers and
Mhm.
everything. I'm like, this is going to melt on there and there's no way to know.
Right.
So go get the good ones. Go get the
Mhm.
best ones. Yeah,
Mhm.
go get the ones that are heat resistant, where you get out of the airplane, you throw them on, tie it down, you're ready to walk away immediately, and you don't have to worry or wonder about
Right.
it. That
Right. I
yeah,
feel like it could be so conditional though. Like there's no set time, like wait 30 minutes exactly,
no.
before putting
If you can put your
them on.
hand on there, you're good. But I now you got to go burn your hand potentially.
Right.
Just go get the really really good ones that are high temperature, and don't monkey with these other ones. You just don't monkey with. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll go to an FBO and I'll put the prop cover on, like,
Mhm.
especially if it's got, like, one prop cover that goes to the 2
Mhm.
exhausts, which most of ours don't. Most of it's on one exhaust, one thing,
Right.
and I'll go to the guy I'll hang it on 2 of the props. I'll have one here and
Mhm.
one here, on both sides, and I'll let it hang off the exhaust. I'll hand the line guy $10 or $20.
Buddy,
Yeah, and
set a
say,
timer.
I got to go, but will
Uh-huh.
you put these on for me when I go? And, for
Mhm.
20 bucks, trust me, they'll
Sure.
come back out in 30 minutes and put them on
I'd
for
do
you.
it for 20 bucks.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So it's a good, yeah. Am I gonna put gooey crap all over my exhaust? No.
No, right.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's not a timeline that,
Right.
there's just yeah, get the good stuff where we don't have to worry about it.
That's it for me.
That's it? That's all the
That's it.
questions? Okay. Well, welcome to Casey Aviation.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, they're gonna see more of you. Yeah, they're
Give
gonna
a
see more of you out there.
sign.
Appreciate you. We appreciate you guys, and gals, giving us good questions. Lots of good questions that occurred today, and we appreciate you sending them. Send them to clint@flycasey.com, and we'll get them on air. Joe Casey and
Baylee Ross.
signing out.
Bye.